It's Christmas! Hi there, and welcome to a special Christmas edition of Premium Time with the brand new reward tanks from World of Tanks. The new double-barreled Soviet premium tank, the one that you get from the loot boxes, the one that people are bankrupting themselves around the world to get. So, is this tank worth it? Should we have a look at some stats? So, here we are on Tanks GG with the Object 703 version 2122, the Defender, the IS-3A, two venerable Soviet premium tanks, probably last year's loot box equivalent to this one, the IS-3A, and the Defender, possibly one of the most OP Tier 8 heavy tanks that you can get. And in there I've also thrown the IS-3, which is the stock Tech 3 Soviet Russian heavy tank. And two other recent heavy tanks as well that have come along our way. We've got the Renegade, which was the recent reward tank, and the other Christmas special that we'll be seeing another video about, the E75 TS. And so we're comparing these just to see what the differences are. Onto firepower. So if you can see there's a bit of a mixed bag there, really, can't you see? For the DPM it's 1952. It's a bit more than the Defender. It's about slightly less than the IS-3A, so it's about the same. Certainly a lot more than the IS-3, the poor Tech 3 tank. You can't deal with it. But the Renegade, ooh, 2,208. That's not bad. And then the E75 TS again. It's about on par with that at 1,943. So, that's not too bad. So the penetration is 221. That's the same as the IS-3A. Slightly less than the Defender, which is a high caliber gun. Slightly less than the IS-3A, which is the same caliber gun. Slightly less than the Renegade, and slightly less than the E75 TS. But, they're all about the same. They're all a bit of a much is there. 220, 225, 227 being the top on the E75 TS. Yeah. So damage is 390. Again, it's on par with the rest of the equivalent tanks. The only two that are a bit lower are the Renegade and E75 TS, because they're slightly smaller caliber guns. So this is a 122 as opposed to a 105. The odd one here is that the Defender's 122 does 440 damage, which is a bit weird, but it's got a really shit rate of fire, so I don't know what they've done to the shells in the Defender, but they've just obviously made it all a bit wonky. Maybe a bit too much charge. They're a bit harder to carry and a bit difficult to get into the gun. That's maybe why it's OP. I don't know. Reload time is about 11.99. So this is kind of like for each gun barrel, and this is a really weird metric that you've got to measure, but it's not being treated here as it's like an auto reloader like the IS-3A, but it kind of is like an auto reloader, because you can fight if you've got both barrels loaded. If you've spent your 24 seconds loading two barrels, you can actually fire them both within 5 seconds of each other, or at the same time if you want. But the baseline is that you can fire a single gun every 12 seconds. Which is, not too bad. Certainly compared to the Defender, it's better than that. It's about on par with the IS-3A, even though that does have its intra-clip bollocks in there. It's better than the IS-3. The Renegade and the TS are both a bit faster, but again, they do less damage. I think I'd trade that, certainly with the Renegade, that 2 seconds to get that extra shot, which gives it a massively, well, a whole one better round. It just seems to pay off for those two tanks, I think. Shell velocity is okay. It's better than most of the rest. The IS-3A is the weirdest one because it fires APCI as standard, has a really, really good shell velocity. It's better than the rest though. So again, ammo capacity 40, that's fine. Potential damage 1500. It's across the board with everything else. So that all looks, nothing special. Not too bad. So we start having a look at the gun handling. Wow. Aim time is 3.36. That's a bit slower than everything else, and that really kind of matters with this gun, because you're going to need to spend at least 2 seconds aiming it if you want to do a double-barrel shot. We'll go through the mechanics shortly, but ultimately when you're doing your double-barrel shot, you've got to hold it for 2 seconds, and you're not going to be fully aimed at that point when you fire. So you really need to aim for 3 seconds to get the full aim. And the amount of times that double-barreled shot actually you hit one, you pen with one, and the other one goes God knows where, is quite phenomenal, really, with this tank. It's almost like the norm. You do a double barrel shot and only one hits. It just seems to be the norm. It's really quite wonky. But there you go. Dispersion is 0.42. The other gun handling stats are absolutely fantastic for this tank, with 0.12 moving, 0.12 tank traverse, 0.6 turret traverse. After firing, well, it's about the same as the IS-3A and the same as the Renegades. It's worse than the other tanks, so it's pretty middle of the road. It's either the same as some, or it's statistically a lot worse. When the gun's damaged, it's just the same as all the rest. It's got 18 degrees of gun elevation, only 5 degrees of gun depression. But again, that's the same as most of the other tanks. The elevation, how the IS-3A gets away with 23 degrees of gun elevation, I don't know. That 5 degrees of gun depression can be a bit limiting. You're obviously not going to be fighting on ridge lines. Ability now, again, it's middle of the road for a heavy tank, 38 miles an hour. If people have been watching me streaming, I'll be saying that the Renegade has this top speed of 45 miles an hour. Oh, sorry, kilometers per hour. Mine never hits that unless it's going downhill with a tailwind. And again, this kind of just seems to be, I don't know, it seems to be fine. Obviously, it's faster than the Defender. It's slightly slower than the IS-3A. Same speed as the IS-3. It just seems that kind of, they're all much of a muchness. I don't ever really feel that the Renegade or the E75TS are faster by 6 kph, which is quite a significant amount. That's probably about 12%. I don't know. Reverse speed is quite fast, other than the other two heavy mediums that we've got at the end. Power to weight ratio is not too bad. It's not great. Specific power is 12. It's better than some, worse than others. Again, it's not as heavy as, say, some of the other tanks. I mean, the E75TS, bless its cotton socks, poor old 80-ton bloody thing. Terrain resistances are all good across the board. Turret traverse is a bit slow, and again, that lets it down when you're trying to do these double-barrel shots. You're not going to be able to. You need to be tracking a target. It's very rare that someone will just sit there and let you shoot them. So you need to be moving your turret. Track traverse, again, on par. Armour and health. This is where it gets a bit trolly. So the hull armour is 140, 160, and that is by far the best of these tanks. And when you angle it, it actually is quite troll. You angle it at like 45 degrees, 50 degrees, 60 degrees. This armour suddenly becomes actually quite good. Now, I would show you the 3D model of this, but I will actually show you it. So let's jump to the 3D model. So we're in the 3D model now, and you can see there's this big, huge hole in the middle of the 3D model, which is not great. So if you angle it like this, you're actually... These numbers are wrong, because it's not modelling this area here. It's literally not modelling anything under here. But if you angle it like this, you're actually getting quite a decent armour. You're getting quite a decent armour value. It's difficult to say what it is because of the fact that it's fucked, but it's something equivalent to these. It's something equivalent to this, so it's like this all along the front, apart from here, which is the driver's slot. But because the 3D model's not modelling it, I can't show you. So you kind of need to be poking out like this and then tracking with the turret as you're going. So the turret, effective armour, nothing. So the turret doesn't exist apparently, but the turret is also quite bouncy. Tanks DG really does need to sort themselves out. So back at here, so you can see the turret armour, 220, 120, 90. It's less than a lot of the others, but again, it's this kind of weird Russian angled turret. Which will bounce stuff quite a lot. So health again is 1500, average. The only one that's better is IS-3A for some bizarre reason. Engine health is a bit low, but again, it's not too bad. Track health, ammo rack health, again, all the same. View range is a bit poor at 350, but then it's a Russian heavy. That's what they're all like. Radio range is fine. Fire chance 15% is a bit high, but it's not German or the Renegade, which tend to burn. And the shell cost's not too bad. So, should we have a look at some Ace Tanker gameplay? So here we are on Pilsen. We are, again, in an all-tier 8 game. It's the same tier, so it's decent matchmaking for us. There's two 703s on each side. We've got an E75 TS, they haven't. They've got a Renegade, we've got a Renegade. So, you know, this is it the reward tank match-off? I think it might be. We'll have to see how we do, aren't we? So, as you can see now, look, if you just look in the middle, you can see that we've got this two things here that are both lit up. That means both my guns are loaded. You can see this 23 seconds, which is the overall reload time for a full clip. I think it's 11.99 and 11. Oh, sorry. 11 and 12 seconds approximately. But we've got both guns loaded now, so with 20 odd seconds into the game, we've got both guns loaded. We're fighting the heavies. So I'm trying to work out who to shoot at. I'm not going to be able to do a lot with this guy there. I fire a single shot. You see now, I'm reloading. I've got 9.2 seconds to go to get a full reload again. I've got a shell in the barrel still. I can fire that second one. So I'm now reloading again. I'm back to 23 seconds. I've got to do a full reload now to get both my shells. But we just, you know, we're not doing a lot here. Pick up a bit of spotting damage there. See, I'm trying to see because the artillery's found me. I kind of think this point I'm just wondering whether I should be here or maybe I should be helping to push through the actual garage. There's not a lot I can do. I mean, that SU I can hit if he comes out. Can't actually hit this guy here. Or if I do, I'm bouncing. I'm not doing a lot of good here at all. So we need to. This doesn't look like an ace. This doesn't look like an ace tanker gameplay, does it, at the moment? So I drop back. I can see we've got their 703 in the garage. No, in this big garage, this big building. We can push on. So Yuda is also pushing through, and there's also that issue there. So I can actually. I was started then. I don't know if you saw. I started to do a full shot, but then we get a snapshot into the Udes. I can wait 5 seconds and get my second shot off. Kill him. First kill. So that's the Udes. He didn't know what this tank could do. He didn't know I could just clip him that quickly. So there's the SU still at the back, but we can now push on whatever's here. So now at this point I'm reloading now because I've got a shell in my thing at the minute. I think, can I get a shot now? No, he's backed off. I can try and aim. Oh, nice snipe shot on the cup holder of the Renegade. We can now push either on the SU and come from behind. Kill the arty possibly, get the SU. Defender's trying to kill the arty. I can easily go get the SU. There you go, single shot into the SU, he's gone. Now a T32 is that? Yeah, T32. Get another shot into that, we can track him. Now I'm reloading again, 20 odd seconds, so I'm out of there, I'm backing off. Come on, Defender. Sorry, sir. Come on, Renegade, you need to do some work there. There's this Lover here. He's being a bit tricky, but again, I can get shot. I've got a shell loaded. He's firing at someone else. Fired a shot into his lower plate. Got the damage. Get another shot into his lower plate or into his track. He's looking at me. He's looking at me. Trying to stay safe. I can get a double shot into him now. Do I get a double shot? Yeah, let's try and aim a double shot. There we go. For 65 damage. That was worth it, wasn't it? But we got a double shot off. That's what you need to do to get a double shot. You literally have to sit there and wait. So now the enemy have swarmed past us. So this is the point we can start coming up behind them. They don't know. Well, they probably do know I'm here, but they just haven't realised that we've now got carte blanche to come out behind them and kill them. So their 703 is dead. I got a shot into him. I'm thinking, can I get another? Am I going to be able to get another shot in? Double shot. I'm awaiting. I'm aiming. Let's get a double shot. So I take a shot of damage from this guy. But look how much my gun's going off. I get a good double shot in. 714 damage. That's what you need to do to get a double shot off. 714 damage into him then. So I'm now at 3k with 4 kills. This poor old renegade here is not going to do a lot. We can. There's 3 of us here now. We can all push on him. I think no, this dude behind me stops. He stops for no reason other than because he wants to try and get a double shot off on there. Which he probably did. But I can get the renegade. Dead. 5th kill. 3,100 damage. And a victory. So there you go. There's the battle results screen. We've got the Ace Tanker, Fire for Effect, Fighter, Master Gunner, Duelist, Bruiser. So here we are at the start of the thing. I'm running it at really slow motion. I've still not fully reloaded. Let's just take it up a bit. I'm coming down 9 seconds as I come through into the garage. There's the IS-3. He's full health at this point. I've still got quite a bit of health, but he takes a shot from our other 703. And suddenly I'm beside him. He takes a shot of damage there. 714. I am 6 seconds away from a reload still. So I'm literally now waiting. I've got to wait 6 seconds. Let's come forward. 6 seconds. Suddenly he knows I'm there. He knows that I am now, trying to do a full barrel shot. There. Right, there we go. I'm aiming now. I am full barrel, full. There. Bang. 704 damage. He was trying to get out the way. He knew at that point I had a full barrel shot on him. So at that point he knew I had a full barrel shot on him. He was desperate to get away from me. He drove literally past the other tank that was in front of him because he'd just fired. I was the immediate threat. 800 plus worth of damage. He only had 700 plus health. I had the side of it, the weakest point in the tank. That's the kind of time you need to do it. I had the health to be able to do that trade. So on to the detailed report, as I said. What else did we do? So we blocked 1,180 damage. We made 3,110 damage. We blocked 1,180. I received 7 hits, 3 which penned, 4 bounced. Splash damage was 1, was that first shot from the arty at the start. Did 526 assistance damage. I earned 99k. There was obviously the boosters that we've got on for the mission rewards at the moment, got me 40k extra. I spent about 57k. I made a gross 140. I took home 76k. Base XP for that game was 1,345, which with a premium count is 2,017 times 2 for the first victory for each day, plus 4,000 for completing a mission bonus, which was a 200 for plus 200 for a premium vehicle. So that's 8,273 XP take home. So there we go. Ace Tanker in the Object 703. That's what you need to do. Around 1,300, 1,400 base XP. So there we have it. The Object 703 version 2. What do I think of it? Well, the gun firing mechanic is, when you first get it, a bit tricky. It uses the same mouse button by default as the normal gun firing. So when you're used to firing a gun in normal World of Tanks, in a normal tank, you press fire, and when you click down, it fires. Now, if you have the double-barreled charging mechanic on, pressing down is actually telling the gun to start doing the charge. So what you do is if you press it down and hold it, it starts doing that 3-second, 2-second charge time to fire both guns together. If you haven't got both guns loaded, that'll do nothing. It won't fire the gun. In the double barrel tanks, the single barrel fire is dictated by releasing the mouse button. So you press it down and pressing it, it's like the up click. So it's not the down click, it's the up click. So you need to press it and release it. And that is something you might not be used to. And it can cause you to miss shots, because you can press and not fire and think, shit, I've got to release it, and release it, and then it fires and the tank's moved out of your sight. So it's a bit, when you first get the tank, it is really a bit wonky. But once you get used to that, you start to play better. You've got a decent amount of DPM, you've got a good gun, you've got good gun handling, decent pen, troll armour, And then you've got this added bonus that you can then offload both shells. I mean, you will come up against tier 10s. Unless you're spamming heat, you're probably not going to want to be trying to do your double-barreled shots. On Friday, I was trying it again. There was a Jagdpanzer E100 in one game. I had its lower plate, which should have penetrated. First double-barrel shot, both shots bounced. I got it in there. I was lucky enough to have it in exactly the same position 30 seconds later to do a second double-barrel shot. One penned. The other one went somewhere, you know. You probably want to be saving your double-barreled shots to instances like where I was then, where you're at the side of a tank or you know you're going to penetrate. You just don't want to be wasted, because otherwise it's a 23-second reload and it's 2 shells. And if you're firing heat, that starts to get quite expensive. But apart from that, yeah, it's a good tank. It's not particularly OP. The armour can be quite troll, but other than that, it's not as OP as the Defender was when that came out. It's probably better than the IS-3A. I mean, it's got the same gun as the IS-3A, but I just think it seems to handle better than the IS-3A. I mean, I'm not a big fan of the IS-3A, to be honest. Maybe I haven't played it enough, but this tank I like. This tank I do like, and I recommend it. But what I've got to say is currently it's only available in loot boxes as a special surprise chance. Do not bankrupt yourself. Do not spend more money than you can possibly afford trying to get this tank. It will be on sale later on in the year. The IS-3A has been for sale this year several times. If you really want this tank and you can't afford loot boxes now, don't buy them. Just wait for it to come out. It will come out. There's also the standard line that'll be coming out, which will feature exactly the same mechanic and probably be just as good at the top tier. So we'll just have to wait and see about those. And then you'll get tier 9 and tier 10 versions of it, which will probably be just as awesome. But if you can afford to get yourself a few loot boxes and you get this as a gift in one of those loot boxes, then yeah, enjoy it. You will like it, I think. Just getting over that initial hurdle of the gun handling. So if you got the 703 version 2, please tell me what you think about it. Do you think it's good? Can you cope with the gun mechanic? Is it a bit wonky for you? How easy was it for you to get over it? Just tell me what you think in the comments below. I really need that feedback. It really, really does help us. I'm a small streamer. I'm also a small YouTuber. I'm trying to grow both my channels and my stream and my Facebook presence. So please, comments are almost always welcomed. Even if they're negative. Just let me know if you think I'm waffling on a bit too much. Then just tell me. Alright guys, if you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. If you want to see more content like this, please hit the subscribe button. And come back next time. And hopefully, I will see you all again next time.
Please allow me to introduce myself. I'm a man of wealth and taste. I rode a tank, held a general's rank, when the front lines rained and the teams just stank. Whoa! Pleased to meet ya. Don't you guess my name? Oh yeah. Oh, what's puzzling you is the nature of this game. Ha ha!